provided by the ruler of the United Arab Emirates, which will also convey the delegation to Zambia. He was seen off at the Jubilee Lounge of the Kutuka International Airport by Vice President Professor Nana-Jane Opoku-Agyeman, Chief of Staff Mr. Julius Deborah, Head of the Security Services, and other senior government officials.
In Zambia, President Mahama will hold bilateral talks with President Hakainde Hichilema on matters of mutual interest, including strengthening diplomatic relations, enhancing trade and investment cooperation, and exploring collaborative opportunities within the framework of the African Continental Free Trade Area, AFCFTA. A key highlight of the visit will be an address to the National Assembly of Zambia, where he is expected to share Ghana's vision for a more integrated and prosperous Africa. According to a release signed by the spokesperson to the President and Minister for Government Communications, Felix Kwasi-Fosu, President Mahama will also meet with members of the Ghanaian community in Zambia. There will also be a Ghana-Zambia business dialogue co-chaired by President Mahama and Hichilema. The dialogue will provide a platform for Ghana to showcase its digital technologies and fintech service to Zambian businesses and government institutions, fostering economic partnerships and knowledge exchange between the two countries. President Mahama's state visit to Zambia underscores his unwavering commitment to his vision of an Africa that is seamlessly connected through enhanced transport infrastructure, expanded trade linkages, and the free movement of people and goods. Prior to the state visit to Zambia, President Mahama departed Accra on Sunday, February 1, for Dubai, United Arab Emirates, to participate in the World Government Summit 2026, scheduled for February 2 to 4, 2026. The president transported to Dubai on board a special aircraft provided by the ruler of the United Arab Emirates, which will also take him and his delegation to Zambia to commence the state visit.
Now, President John Mahama has reaffirmed the government's commitment to strengthening tertiary education, empowering the youth, and promoting responsible mining, describing specialized universities as key drivers of Ghana's industrial transformation. Speaking at the 18th Special Congregation of the University of Mines and Technology in Tarkwa in the Western Region, the president said institutions such as UMAT are central to national development due to their critical role in engineering, technology, and applied sciences.
At the 18th Special Congregation of UMAT in Tarkwa, President Mahama highlighted his commitment to education and responsible mining. He described education as Ghana's most enduring investment and urged the Minerals Commission to fast-track licenses for regulated small-scale mining, which can provide training for students and curb illegal activities. He also assured that alternative funding options are being explored for mining research and the proposed mining museum.
With regards to the small-scale mine, the Chief Executive of the Minerals Commission is here, and I wish that by the time we leave here, he makes a commitment to issue the license for two reasons. One, we can make it a model small-scale mine, not only for instruction of students of the university, but also to bring licensed small-scale miners to come and learn how mining is done. The next one is on the Center for the Mining Museum and mining research. We will work to seek alternative funding so that we can finish that center in the shortest possible time.
On staffing, the president acknowledged delays in lecturer recruitment and assured his commitment, urging graduate students aspiring to academic careers not to give up.
Also, the issue of financial clearance for lecturers, recruitment of lecturers, has been brought to my attention by several universities, and the Minister of Finance attention has been drawn to it. And so I'm sure that soon he's going to make an omnibus clearance for universities, and then he will allocate the numbers to the various institutions.
The president highlighted initiatives including the No Guarantor Student Loan Scheme, no fee stress for first-year students, free tertiary education for persons with disabilities, and the Student Loan Plus program to support continuing students. He also acknowledged UMA's unique role in training professionals and developing technologies for lawful, environmentally responsible, and community-centered mining.
As we pursue industrialization, government remains resolutely committed to integrity, accountability, and sustainable development, particularly in the management of our natural resources. Illegal mining remains one of the most serious threats to our environment, water bodies, and rural livelihoods. While enforcement and regulatory reform are necessary, the long-term solution lies in knowledge, professionalism, and responsible mining practice. This is where the University of Mines and Technologies mandate becomes indispensable. UMAT has a unique national responsibility to train professionals, advance research, and develop technologies that promote lawful, environmentally responsible, and community-centered mining. Your work here must continue to shape the future of Ghana's extractive sector in ways that balance economic benefit with environmental and social sustainability.
President Mahama urged graduates and students to use their knowledge not just to earn a living, but also to serve the nation with discipline and integrity.
In a related story, the University of Mines and Technology, UMAT, Tarkwa, has conferred an honorary Doctor of Science degree on Mr. Ibrahim Mahama, a businessman and chief executive of Engineers and Planners Company Limited, in recognition of his outstanding contributions to Ghana's mining sector, industrial development, engineering support services, and youth development. The honor was bestowed on him at the 18th congregation of the university held in Tarkwa.
Your Excellency, Mr. John Dramani Mahama, congregation, by the powers vested in me, I, chairperson of the University of Mines and Technology, do hereby confer on you, Mr. Ibrahim Mahama, Doctor.
University of Mines and Technology, UMAT, says the decision to confer an honorary doctorate on Ibrahim Mahama is in recognition of his outstanding contribution to Ghana's mining industry, innovation in mine support services, and commitment to job creation through indigenous enterprise. In 1997, Mr. Ibrahim Mahama founded Engineers and Planners as a heavy equipment rentals and civil engineering firm, which has since grown into one of West Africa's leading indigenous mining and construction companies, employing thousands and executing major contracts, including operations at the Tarkwa and Daman mines. At a special 18th congregation of the university, the Vice-Chancellor, Professor Richard Amankwa, read a citation by the university, while the Chair of the Council, Professor Goski Alabi, did the conferment.
By the powers vested in me, I, chairperson of the University, Mr. from UMAT, present to Ghana and Your Excellency, Mr. John Dramani Mahama, congregation, by the powers vested in me, I, chairperson of the University of Mines and Technology, do hereby confer on you, Mr. Ibrahim Mahama, Doctor of Science, DSc honoris causa. Please accept our warmest congratulations. And now, before we do the robing, kindly hold on a second. GTEC, we hereby from UMAT, present to Ghana and the world Dr. Ibrahim Mahama, honoris causa DSc.
So the council chair will present to him a plaque to signify the new honor.
And I'll take you to northern Ghana, where President John Mahama has officially launched the Upper West Shea Park Resource Hub in Wa, spotlighting the Upper West region as a hub for agro-industrial development. Speaking at the Palace of the Wana, the president described the project as an initiative aimed at creating jobs, empowering women, and unlocking the full economic potential of Ghana's shea industry.
For generations, women in Ghana's Upper West region have sustained households through shea nut collection, yet many have remained trapped in poverty. The Shea Park Resource Hub is expected to empower more than 7,000 women and create jobs for thousands of youth, while anchoring value chains for shea and other regional products such as groundnuts, soya beans, sorghum, dawa, cotton, and honey. The president acknowledged the cultural and economic significance of shea, noting that generations of Ghanaian women have sustained households and communities through shea picking and processing. Speaker of Parliament Urban Bagbin commended the initiative and called on traditional authorities, the private sector and development partners to remain committed to its success.
The involvement of private sector partners in fashioning out this vision assures us that this is not some political campaign pledge that will remain on the drawing board in perpetuity. We are poised to break ground and bring hope to our people. You, Mr. President, are one of the composers of the song we are singing here today. Shea Park Resource Hub is motivated by your own flagship transformational programs, particularly the Big Push and the 24-hour economy and accelerated export development.
The president urged women and youth to take ownership of the hub, innovate, build enterprises, and compete on the global market.
At full maturity, the Shea Park ecosystem is expected to empower over 7,000 women in the Upper West. It will support thousands of youth jobs. It will anchor value chains, not only for shea, but also for associated products such as groundnuts, soya beans, sorghum, dawa, cotton, and honey.
He said the project aims to shift the industry from raw extraction to value addition with modern agro-industrial facilities for cosmetics.
The Shea Park Resource Project is aligned with the centerpiece of our reset agenda, and that is the agenda of adding value to our products before exporting them. And so this value addition will cover several products produced all over our country. And this includes the shea nuts we're talking about, cashew nuts, processing of cotton, processing of cassava, processing of oil palm, and even in our mineral sector, recently the Gold Board signed an agreement with Gold Coast Refineries to start processing 1 ton of gold every week for export instead of exporting the raw gold bullion.
He also cautioned against the indiscriminate cutting of shea trees, stressing the need to protect the species to sustain livelihoods and the environment.
I want to thank my father, the Wana, for today making a declaration that we should make the chopping down of shea nut trees a crime, and that assemblies and the security agencies should enforce it. This one, I'm going to joke. My Sisala brothers, I beg you, when you are selecting the trees for charcoal burning, don't add shea nut trees to it.
President John Dramani Mahama praised the collaborative efforts of traditional authorities, government agencies, investors, development partners, and the diaspora in bringing the project to fruition.
Away from that story, the Ghana Journalists Association, together with allied associations, has sent a strong message to authorities to act decisively in investigating and prosecuting perpetrators amid rising attacks on journalists. Speaking at a stakeholder engagement in Accra, the GJA said the failure of authorities to act firmly is encouraging impunity and putting journalists at risk.
Statistics from the Ghana Journalists Association indicates that there have been 50 attacks on journalists from June 2022, a situation the Inky fraternity says is unacceptable.
Attacks on journalists in Ghana have risen to alarming and unacceptable levels in recent months. These incidents are not isolated, accidental, or insignificant. They represent a disturbing pattern of violence, intimidation, harassment, and abuse directed at journalists in the lawful discharge of their duties.
At the stakeholder engagement of veteran journalists, media owners, and regulators, the Director General of the Ghana Broadcasting Corporation himself, a journalist, Professor Amin Al-Hassan, called for a review of the training of security agencies to include an understanding of the work of journalists.
For journalism, everybody, private sector, public sector, politician, security agency, insofar as your work has a public consequences, journalism is called upon to police you and to report. We will continue to do this, and we want to send a message out to all that when they attack journalists and you keep quiet, you are condoning with an attack on Ghana's democracy.
A former president of GJA, Mrs. Gifty Afenyidaze, urged media owners to make the safety of journalists a priority.
I will call on media owners, despite your political polarization, and when attacks come, please stand up, back the GJA, make sure you make open statements. You see, when you do things backdoor, people don't get the input. This is a fight for the nation. It is a fight for our democracy. It is a strategy to go back, put us back into the dark era of domestication.
Representatives from Print Park, GIBA, New Media, UNESCO, and the National Media Commission were unanimous that a national monitoring mechanism will engender a coordinated industry-wide response that will safeguard the safety of journalists.
Now, residents of Santoi and East Legon Hills are calling on the Ghana Water Company to urgently fix what they describe as years of ongoing water crisis in the area. Over the weekend, the residents held meetings with estate developers and community leaders to highlight the worsening water situation and push for immediate action.
Lack of running water through the taps, either irregular or completely unavailable for months at a time, compelling residents to depend heavily on tanker services. Several families, the association notes, now spend thousands of cedis monthly on water, amounting to millions of cedis collectively every year, despite numerous complaints lodged at regional offices of the Ghana Water Company. and earlier engagement over the years, residents say the situation has not improved and continues to deteriorate. Some residents who spoke to GBC News were frustrated over the continued lack of running water through
the water situation here is just unbearable. I can tell you as a fact that since February 2024, I've not had running water.
We've had to depend on private water supplies, and we don't even know the source of the water. At times, I don't know if it's from boreholes. It's so salty, very hard. It doesn't lather well with soap.
The current situation of water in this community is very, very serious because I'm a pensioner and my take home, if I buy water, 1,000 cedis a month, and which is not a good water at all. It's very hard water.
On Monday, January 26, 2026, the association submitted a petition and held a closed-door meeting with senior management of the Ghana Water Limited. According to the association, the meeting was conducted in a cordial atmosphere, free from antagonism or hostilities. In the petition, the association is requesting a thorough investigation into the causes of the supply failure, a clear and reliable plan with timelines to restore consistent water flow, interim relief measures such as enforceable supply schedules or tanker support, and guidance on billing reconciliation or relief. Kweku Bernard is the Water and Utility Committee Chair of the East Legon Hills Residents Association.
Surprisingly, they were even talking about topography. It was the same topography. We were getting water in 2024. There was a district manager called Engineer Hazel. He was giving us water at least twice every week, sometimes even 3 times. But I understand he left for the US to do some studies. Since he left, our situation has been very bad.
The association says it remains hopeful that the engagement will lead to tangible results and has indicated its intention to go harder if it fails to progress.
Highly recommended by Ministry of Health, CHAS and GES. Lab tested by Noguchi Medical, field trialed by Atomic Energy Commission. It has no chemical or side effects and is good for all ages and skin type. MedShea is available nationwide. Contact us on 0244892413. This advert
Hi, I'm pleased to introduce to you Cancer Mixture, a herbal mixture for arthritic pain. Arthritis,
It's me.
Cancer Mixture, no, cancer mixture, no, cancer mixture. Yerba Biarana Nudruo, Morio ya, or arthritis, cancer mixture, or Benya Juma when you put your inside. I'm a pace in the grand. And in Fidriana menu, on your mapping for your batana woman, one menu. First baby, I'm from one Sanka, Senior Susan, Body Biara, home doctor, and I report for FDA Med Safety App Nodo.
And Katui, FDA.
Welcome back. On the international front, at least 200 people were killed earlier this week when heavy rains triggered a number of landslides at the Rubaya Coltan mine in the Eastern Democratic Republic of Congo. The site has been under control of the M23 rebel group since 2024, with search and rescue operations still continuing. Officials say the death toll is expected to rise. Rubaya produces about 15% of the world's coltan, which is processed into a hard metal used notably to make smartphones, mobile phones, computers, and aircraft engines. The United Nations says M23 has plundered the mine's riches to help fund its insurgency. Rubaya lies in the heart of mineral-rich Eastern DRC, which for decades has been ripped apart by violence between government forces and the different armed groups. Since its insurgency in 2021, the M23 group has taken over large tracts of the Eastern DRC. In sports, Senegal's Football Federation says it has notified the Confederation of African Football that it will not appeal sporting and financial sanctions imposed following the 2025 Africa Cup of Nations.
Earlier this week, the Senegalese government had said it would challenge the restrictions imposed on coach Pape Thiaw and two others. CAF's ruling follows chaotic scenes late in the Lions of Teranga's final game against hosts Morocco in January. Thiaw encouraged his players to leave the pitch after a Senegalese goal was disallowed, triggering a 14-minute stoppage in play. CAF's disciplinary board on Thursday announced it would suspend Thiaw for 5 matches and fine him $100,000, deeming his conduct was unsporting. It also imposed 2-match suspensions on forwards Iliman Ndiaye and Ismaila Sarr for unsporting behavior towards the referee. Senegal's Football Federation was also fined over the team's conduct and the behavior of its supporters. In a statement, it said it would assume full financial responsibility for the fines imposed on it, its technical staff, and its players. Despite accepting the ruling, the Federation said it remains committed to defending its legitimate rights and interests within continental football bodies. The statement also made it clear, however, that the decision not to appeal reflects a commitment to respect CAF's regulatory framework and uphold the integrity of African football.
And that was the news at 7. My name is Gifty Eji. Happy New Month.